soon as Mama got to the door, turning around and she said, no rigging and scraping, I'll be back after 4. Clock on the wall, say after 9. Say, fellas, all we got is time, not knowing what Mama had in mind. Mama don't want no rigging and scraping in here. Mama don't want no rigging and scraping in here. We don't care what Mama don't like, no rigging and scraping anyhow. Mama don't like no rigging and scraping in here. Now Mama walk around the block, we thinking she's on the bus stop, listening hard from the neighbor's yard. Just as we start to hit a lip, she busts inside. Didn't think you slick, one back and stop across my lip. Oh, Mama say, boys, I ain't gonna lie, from afar you never sung and tight. Let me show you a dance from way back in the days. When Mama started to kill the roast beef, the fellas thought she was freaking out. Pick that rhythm, lasty dough, boys. Oh, Uncle Joe, when you're walking down on the road, when they start down the road, and you're walking down the road, you can came and you roll. Mama, she loves this breaking and scraping in here. Mama, she loves this breaking and scraping in here. She don't care what the people say, she gonna rake and scrape it anyway. Mama, she loves this breaking and scraping in here. Mama, she loves this breaking and scraping in here. Mama, she loves this breaking and scraping in here. She don't care what the people say, she gonna rake and scrape it anyway. Mama, she loves this breaking and scraping in here.
Tonight, straw vendors raided. We've got the details coming up. Also, a new senator being sworn in. And later, a controversial bill passed in Parliament. We've got the details. Eyewitness News starts now. Good evening, everyone. I'm Janae Nawal. Thanks so much for joining us. Topping news tonight, outrage growing among straw vendors who say they've been left to fend for themselves. This after thieves allegedly broke into their temporary Fort Charlotte straw market, stealing goods and damaging their stalls right before the holidays. Arlington Ritchie Jr. has the details in this report tonight.
What makes me more doubly angry this morning, I lost all of my T-shirts, my sweatshirts, my souvenirs. I've lost it all.
Vendors at the Fort Charlotte Straw Market say their livelihood has been disrupted after an early morning break-in left numerous stalls ransacked with losses they estimate in the thousands. When Eyewitness News visited the temporary tent site, there were clear signs of vandalism. Ripped bags, torn clothing, and broken lines where goods were once displayed.
We've been having the break-in. This morning there were about 5 vendors that got break-in on Fort Fincastle.
What you're looking at are T-shirts that are nicely folded and these lovely handbags that are hanging properly. Now, if you come a little closer, you can see that handbags up here were ripped down from the chains, and things in the amount of sweatshirt, T-shirts, and stuffed animals that were piled up here were all taken by culprits.
It is more than angriness, and I'm tired of this. We need to be relocated, not tomorrow. Today, get my stall replenished today.
President of the Fort Fincastle Vendor Association, Tanya Fernandez, says despite following investigative protocols, the vendors do not feel justice has been served.
Take inventory of what you lost. We did that. They say call the police. We call the police. They come, they fingerprint. Nothing is given back.
Police confirmed to Eyewitness News that investigations are underway, but noted that the vendors' lease agreement states they should not leave items overnight because the tents are not secured. The temporary setup is located on Fort Charlotte grounds due to the ongoing repairs at Fort Fincastle. Vendors say the move was initially expected to last 4 months, but has now stretched to nearly a year.
It's a bunch of lies. They said we're going to be ready to go back to the fort on November, the end of November. Today now is the 9th of December.
Eyewitness News also visited the construction site at Fort Fincastle, Work was visible on multiple vendor booths, though officials on site could not give a completion date for when the area will be fully restored and vendors can return to their secured spaces. Linton Ritchie Jr., Eyewitness News.
Well, Eyewitness News turning to social media, posing the question, do you believe the government should provide compensation to vendors affected by theft? 54% voted yes, they should. 45% voted no, while 1% voted that they were unsure. Be sure to continue to participate in our daily digital polls as your voice matters. Well, at just 36 years old, Asante Small has been officially sworn in as a senator, receiving her instruments of appointment to the Senate, filling the seat left vacant by Darren Pickstock following his recent election to the House of Assembly. Small, reflecting on her appointment, said it demonstrates the Davis administration's commitment to empowering young people and intentionally creating spaces for women in national leadership. The new senator today thanking God and her circle of supporters on a journey she says was far from easy.
I learned to serve without needing to be seen, to give my best whether I was at the front of the room or at the back, and to trust that God orders steps long before we understand where the road will lead. So when this call came, my first feeling was not finally. My first feeling was, thank you for trusting me, God, with more people to serve. I did not come to preach today, but I cannot speak about this moment without honoring the God who has held my hand, corrected my path, and carried me through each season of my life. If you ask me how I feel today, I feel deeply grateful to God and deeply responsible to the Bahamian people.
While Small still has aspirations to enter frontline politics, she says she's committed to serving in her current capacity as senator for as long as she can. While addressing supporters during her appointment ceremony at Government House, she pledged to support 5 key areas, from public safety for the vulnerable to wider protection and education of at-risk youth, and also gender-based violence.
I will use this platform to widen the path for women in national leadership. That means training, mentorship, sponsorship, and real inclusion in decision-making. We have many capable women who simply need an open door and a fair chance. When women rise, families and communities rise with them. 3, mental health is a national issue. We are facing deep emotional strain in our homes, schools, and workplaces. I will advocate for a dedicated mental health emergency hotline, more community-based services, and stronger support for individuals and families. People should not have to suffer in silence or feel ashamed to ask for help. We must care for the mind as important as we care for our bodies.
Meantime, Prime Minister Philip Davis making a bold commitment today. He's pledging to involve more young people in national decision-making in the coming years. His statements come as he touted the amount of professionals under the age of 40 given top positions across the public sector and also in politics. Davis says young Bahamians represent some of the brightest minds in the world, and he believes they punch above their weight in many developing areas. He says young minds need to be at the fore of the decisions of today, as they will have to live with the advantages or disadvantages of those decisions.
I intend to place even more young Bahamians in senior roles in government, on our boards, in our diplomatic posts, in our national institutions, and of course in my political organization. I'm prepared to make a very big bet on the talent of our young people. Some will say it is safer to leave everything in the hands of those who have been there for decades. I say the real risk lies in ignoring the generation that will have to live longest with the consequences of our choices. Young Bahamians are leading in technology, in culture, in business, in climate action, in creative industries. If we want a country that keeps up with the world, then we must invite those minds and hearts into the center of decision-making.
Meantime, House members passing the controversial Smuggling in Migrants bill last evening in Parliament, deleting Section 11, which suggests immunity for alleged victims of human smuggling. The National Security Minister said they responded to the concerns by the public over the bill, as Prime Minister Philip Davis adds that the better protection was needed for our borders.
If you use our islands or our jurisdiction as part of your criminal enterprise, we will come after you wherever you operate. It doesn't matter if you never stop or step foot on a boat in our waters. If you organize this activity, if you coordinated or funded it, if it is your boat or plane is in use, if you forge documents, you are a criminal under the law. This law in particular. Until now, our officers and prosecutors have had to piece together cases from provisions in the Penal Code, the Immigration Act, and other laws to capture the conduct of the smuggler. Smuggling rings require planning, financing, transportation, and harboring. Yet, our laws did not clearly define the chain of conduct as one offense with one set of strong penalties. This bill defines the smuggling of migrants as a crime distinct from immigration offenses and establishes that if you plan or organize the route, you can be charged.
Meantime, in a coordinated surveillance and patrol operation, the Royal Bahamas Defense Force foiled a suspected human smuggling attempt this week. Authorities say 8 people were taken into custody after multiple customs and immigration discrepancies were uncovered. Junior aide-de-camp for public relations, Lieutenant Darius Adams, providing Eyewitness News with these preliminary details.
It was definitely an operation that we did with some partners that would have alerted us to a potential human smuggling event that was potentially going to happen out of the Nassau Harbor. And on Tuesday, December 2nd, we would have staked out and conduct surveillance and reconnaissance for that event. And then on Wednesday, as we saw that vessel was moving out, and once they got persons on board, we were able to intercept that vessel near John Alfred Dock, and then we took those persons and hand them over to the relevant authorities, the immigrations and customs. So in total, there were 8 persons on board. You had 4 Ecuadorian males, 2 Ecuadorian females, 1 Dominican male and 1 American male. The American was identified as the captain, but more than likely we were looking to plan to go towards the U.S. But of course, all that information has been turned over to obviously the police, custom, and immigration.
Well, if you need a lawyer, it's going to cost you a bit more. The Bahamas Bar Association is set to introduce some new minimum fees for attorneys, marking the first major update in nearly 20 years. The new rates expected to take effect on January 1st of 2026. In a memo circulated to members this week, the Bar Council confirming that the fee scale was updated to reflect years of inflation, local practice, and rising costs across the profession. The review also included data from the Consumer Price Index and an independent assessment by Oracle Business Partners. Now, under the revised structure, hourly rates for attorneys range from $250 per hour for junior counsel to as high as $900 per hour for senior attorneys with more than 20 years experience. Per diem rates are also increasing. Junior attorneys will now charge between $2,000 and $2,200 per day, while the most experienced counsel, they may charge between $6,000 and $7,200 per day. The Bar Association added that special rates for King's Counsel have also been formally introduced, bringing the fee schedule in line with international practice. The council says the adjustments were necessary to ensure the minimum legal fees reflect the true economic realities of practicing law within the Bahamas. Well, U.S. Ambassador Herschel Walker officially presented his letter of credence to Governor General Her Excellency Dame Cynthia Pratt at Government House. Ambassador Walker expressing in a social media post that he's committed to strengthening the partnership between the United States and the Bahamas. He's pledging to work toward a safe, prosperous, and stronger future for both nations and the wider region. On to news from the courts tonight. 2 Grand Bahama men were hauled before the Freeport Magistrates Court Tuesday morning, both on unlawful sexual intercourse charges. 30-year-old Michael Cartwright arraigned on 1 count of unlawful sexual intercourse, Prosecutors alleging he had unlawful sex with a 14-year-old female. His bail was denied. The matter has been adjourned until January 3rd of next year. Meantime, 58-year-old Keith Gibson also brought before the magistrate's court. He's facing charges of unlawful sexual intercourse, and prosecutors say he allegedly had sexual intercourse with another 14-year-old. He was granted bail at $9,500 with sureties. The case has been adjourned to April 13th. As a part of his bail conditions, Gibson is required to sign in at the Central Police Station every Monday and Friday. A 24-year-old man, Arthur Alexander Minnis, also formally charged in Grand Bahama in connection with the island's third homicide for the year. He's accused of killing Duran Hanna. Minnis, represented by attorney K. Brian Hanna, making his first appearance before the magistrate. He was not required to enter a plea. The matter is being transferred to the Supreme Court for trial. Inside the courtroom, he was visibly emotional as relatives reacted to the charge from the gallery. Police allege the incident taking place on December 4th during an altercation at a business establishment on East Sunrise Highway. Investigators say the victim, believed to be in his 20s, was able to drive himself to the hospital after reportedly being stabbed, but later died while receiving treatment. Minnis applied for emergency bail, which was denied. He's been remanded and is expected back in court on February 26th of next year. Well, following announcements by the SAC-COC, the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools, that the University of the Bahamas has been approved as a candidate for accreditation, President Dr. Stephen Pruitt emphasizing the importance of universities around the globe providing proper tertiary education to students. He brought those remarks during his address at their annual general meeting held in Nashville, Tennessee. This as UB officials listened on in the crowd.
We have to come together as a community. We have to be able to do the things we need to do to ensure that our students get the kinds of degrees, the kinds of certificates that they need to be successful in life. I mentioned earlier, I've had many people come to me and say, man, you're a real courageous guy to go into higher ed right now. I've always been around higher ed, so I wouldn't say I'm going into higher ed. But we as a community, I know we have our research and we love it. I know we have our scholarship and we love it. But in my heart of hearts, I believe we all did this because we knew we could see a better world.
With UB working toward international accreditation since 2017, Pruitt acknowledging that universities across the globe are pushing back against claims that higher education is not important. He says from his stance, tertiary education also helps to boost economies.
You know, we are in a place in higher ed where we are being questioned. The value of higher ed is being questioned. I believe, and I think all of us here believe, that we are the engine of the economy. We are the reason why the United States has been the great country it's been, because we are able to provide another level of education that students wouldn't be able to have without us. So I want you to think about that. When you're at a conference like this, yes, you're learning about accreditation. Yes, you're learning about all the stuff that we do, all the nuts and bolts. But if you don't take an opportunity around this time to think also about why you got into this business to start with, then I think you're missing an opportunity. We're going to work really hard to continue to improve our processes.
Well, doors at BTVI's extended campus opened earlier this week on the island of Abaco and Murphytown. Officials say it's a testament to ensuring easy access for vocational and technical courses throughout the country. Outgoing President Dr. Linda Davis noting that the institution continues to create avenues for opportunities.
Ladies and gentlemen, not only do we have an instructional service center in Moores Island, but we have an extension of BTVI in mainland Abaco. One of our 7 internationally accredited consular and occupational education BTVI locations. Our excitement won't be dampened, no matter the noise. Of the 3 extension campuses, this one is the largest. And so we are obligated to fill the halls, the classrooms, workshops, and labs with students from throughout the length and breadth of Abaco. Let me repeat, we are obligated. Yes. This building must become a place of discovery, a place of innovation, a place of creation, for passions to be nurtured in the construction and mechanical trades, in ICT, in business, in electronics and media, and the creative trades, beauty and fashion. The refurbishment of this original site, the Murphy and Dundas Town Primary School, has tremendous yet untapped potential that is yet to be realized. But
Education Minister Glenys Hannah Martin also acknowledging the pivotal role that BTVI plays in our local economies.
Oh, that sometimes we don't have the expertise, but we get it, we learn from it, and then we keep moving. So many studies have been done in the Bahamas, the IDB, the Chamber of Commerce, and I think there was a third one where they looked at our economy. And what they found was that there is what we now are calling the skills gap, where we have an economy that's in principle thriving, but so many people cannot access or take advantage of it. So you have a reality where people feel not empowered and an economy that's going full speed ahead. BTVI is about closing that gap, about empowering people in this nation, and particularly young people, to build capacity.
Well, as the holiday season ramps up and shoppers flood stores in search of gifts and essentials, the Consumer Price Commission says it's stepping up enforcement to make sure businesses play by the rules. The agency is monitoring prices across the country to protect consumers from unfair markups during one of the busiest and most expensive times of year. Well, Operations Manager Tanika Davis reminding the public to report any suspicious acts, while also sharing that the CPC is ensuring to address shipping issues and ensure that they're resolved for all consumers.
As the Christmas season approaches, the Consumer Protection Commission is prepared to support consumers and ensure that merchants meet their obligations under the law. We are closely monitoring the market and collaborating with agencies such as Price Control and other government agencies to strengthen coverage during this busy season. Shipping delays and non-delivery of goods have been the most common seasonal complaint in the past year. So this year we are paying special attention to these areas as well as online sales. Our agents will continue to remind merchants of their responsibilities under the CPC regulation. The CPC also remains available to provide mediation assistance to help consumers resolve disputes quickly and fairly. Our priority is to protect consumers and to promote fair and transparent marketplace throughout the holiday season.
Well, if you've got a news tip or if you've seen news in the making, call the Ion News hotline 397-6397. We also invite you to send your letters to the editor for publication on all of our social media platforms. Eyewitness News Bahamas at gmail.com. And if you're watching on our Facebook or YouTube page, share your thoughts about today's stories in the comments section. We want to hear from you. We're just getting started in Eyewitness News tonight, but when we come back, a team from Bahamas Power and Light is fresh back from Jamaica. We've got a look at what's coming up tonight, and later a local sorority tackling a major issue in the Bahamas, domestic violence. We've got more on that right after this break.
Vibes is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the vibes back. At BTC, we understand your vibes because we live it. That's why we are dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You are at the heart of everything we do. Our commitment is to keep your vibes flowing no matter what.
The best Christmas memories aren't the ones posted, they're the ones that stay. So whether you're here for the original memes or spicy moments, gather round for the memories that truly matter. Share 8 juicy pieces of KFC chicken with your favorite sides and our new coconut dessert biscuits, a holiday treat made to share. Enjoy Christmas without a filter or dish duty, but with the moments that are full of flavor. KFC's Festive Feast, starting at $20. Finger licking good.
Are you searching for something new? Something exciting? Your dream job in paradise? Well, look no further. Royal Beach Club Paradise Island is hiring. Join a dynamic group of passionate hospitality professionals, craft unforgettable moments, and thrive in a vibrant, welcoming atmosphere. Play your part in shaping the future of our team while growing your own career every day. Bring your energy, your passion, and your creativity to a workplace that's as dynamic and fun as you are. At Royal Beach Club Paradise Island, the opportunities don't just exist, they're limitless. So are you ready to find your perfect fit? Visit Royal Beach Club at paradiseisland.com/career today and step into a world of exciting possibilities.
What is car sexy? I need to upgrade, eh?
That's easy. Just apply for a cash and go loan. Once approved, you're in the giveaway.
Just a second, this lady even got Bluetooth? You want some presents?
Yes.
No. I just like ain't nobody getting presents this year.
This Christmas, trade up. Get approved for a loan at Cash and Go and enter to win this brand new Kia.
This segment of Eyewitness News is brought to you by EV Motors Fleet Sales Division. For 2026 commercial vehicles, call 821-2403 today.
Welcome back. Here's a look at your Eyewitness News gas tracker. You're getting the cheapest tonight at Shell, $5.28. Rubis coming in at $5.34. Esso still the highest tonight at $5.46. Your local prices at the pump. Well, the Nassau Bahamas Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated recently hosting its second annual Defender Advocacy and Safety Seminar. It's bringing together legal, social service, law enforcement, and survivor perspectives. Chapter President Crystal Comer noting that the forum exists because silence is no longer an option.
Highlighting the advocacy and the need for more community collaboration with raising awareness. We know sometimes women are on the receiving end, and so we need them to be able to protect themselves when they are faced with situations of violence. And so this is a program that we thought is needed in our community.
Throughout the discussion, panelists exploring the realities of domestic violence in the Bahamas, the resources that are available to victims, including legal protection, reporting abuse, and the importance of multi-sector collaboration. Attorney Robin Lang serving as one of the panelists, along with members of the judiciary.
Where there's intimate partner violence or violence within a marriage, I often represent and advocate for those women and a few men as well who have been victims of intimate partner violence. In that particular instance, I would help them to get to the court, complete the documents, and then make representations on their behalf. When the inter partes application takes place, that is where the person that they are accusing also come to court to give defense as to whether or not they agree with what has been alleged against them, whether they want to defend themselves. So I walk those survivors through that process as their counsel and attorney, cross-examining the defendant or respondent and making sure that at the end of the day, the judge is convinced that this woman or man needs and deserves protection, and also trying to look at applications within a protection order. A lot of people don't know you can get application for spousal support, for child support. You can have somebody legally removed from the home, but still obligated by law to pay the mortgage or make certain contributions to household expenses. So it's very extensive and varied, the kind of assistance you can get through the courts, through an order for protection.
Meantime, the Royal Bahamas Defense Force formally handing over a shipment of disaster relief supplies to the Jamaica Defense Force. It's following last month's Category 5 Hurricane Melissa, which devastated parts of the Caribbean with heavy rains, strong winds, and widespread flooding. Defense Force officials say their presence reflects the objectives of the exercise event and beyond, a multinational, multi-agency, multi-domain exercise designed to strengthen cooperation and collaboration across the region in maritime safety, security, humanitarian assistance, and disaster response. The relief supplies provided are aimed at supporting communities that are still recovering from the impact of that hurricane, demonstrating the region's commitment to solidarity and rapid humanitarian response. Proudly welcoming home its 7-member restoration team after the group of technical experts completed a crucial mission to assist with power restoration efforts in Jamaica following the historic landfall of Hurricane Melissa. Now, the team was led by Kervin Jones, assistant engineer. He was deployed as part of the regional mutual assistance effort under the umbrella of the Caribbean Electric Utility Services Corporation. BPL staffers reflecting on what they deemed a challenging yet rewarding journey.
It's been a long time. It's been a long ride and a long journey, so just glad to be back,
Seeing the place, the condition that I was in, especially seeing the little kids, and they'd run up to you as if you're some kind of a hero, especially in the nighttime when we would have restored power.
It was a lot of challenges. We have weather issues, we have equipment issues, and terrain. Basically, especially terrain, because they have mountains, so we are used to flat lands and what's not. And the hours we worked hard hours, 16 to 18 hours a day plus. So it was rewarding. The rewarding part was the persons on the ground, the Jamaican community. They were so happy. They were clapping. They blew the horns when we restored supply. And it was a great feeling, and that's what kept us pushing.
In my job at home, I get some new stuff that I can show my coworkers that would make the job easier.
Well, BPL Chief Executive Officer Tony Seymour also praising the team's efforts, emphasizing the importance of Caribbean unity. She's thanking international and local organizations for the role they play in the success of BPL's deployment team.
I am so excited, very, very happy to have the guys back home safe and sound and in one piece. They did an excellent job. They, had their little challenges. So I am grateful to Mrs. Alvita Knight, Consul General, resident in Jamaica, who assisted us with getting care packages to the guys. They suffered a little bit, but they came back looking very healthy. Like they ate well every day, even though they did a lot of hard work. We're also grateful to our Carolec colleagues at JPS for taking such wonderful care of them, and to our corporate colleagues at Bahamas Air who assisted in transporting them to and from Jamaica, and also transporting the care packages that we sent over for them. And it's always a pleasure to show up and help our Caribbean colleagues, because when we need help, when storms hit, they're very unpredictable. They leave a lot of damage in their wake. And they always come to the Bahamas to assist us. So it was definitely a pleasure to send this team over to assist them.
Well, when Hurricane Melissa swept through Jamaica in early November, as you heard, it left communities struggling in the dark and in need of urgent support. Answering the call, BPL deployed their team on November 10th to help rebuild the island's badly damaged electrical grid. In this episode of Keeping Current, we follow the team led by Assistant Engineer Kervin Jones as they work with compassion and determination to restore power and a sense of hope to those communities.
Hurricane Melissa ravaged the southwestern and western communities of Jamaica in late October, leaving a path of destruction in its wake. In an effort to assist Jamaica back to a place of normalcy, Bahamas Power and Light dispatched a 7-member emergency response team on November 10th. On this episode of Keeping Current, we will be giving you exclusive updates from our team led by Kervin Jones as the team continues to work to bring light and hope to the island.
We got into Kingston. This would have been towards the evening, so you couldn't get a full assessment of how bad the damages was. But on our way to Montego Bay, we saw some of the extent of damages. There are areas where there have been numerous poles that were down. So we work along with the JPS team. They plant the poles. We go on the back end, we dress the poles, and we retention conduct it.
Despite the large landmass, the team was able to cover quite a few communities.
We've been in the Kincaid area, we've been at Treasure Beach, we've been down to Watchwell.
What did it mean for Jamaicans to have the assistance of Team Bahamas on the ground?
Having the support from our fellow Caribbean brothers and sisters really means a whole lot. It means that we can return to, I wouldn't say normal, but at least some sense of normalcy.
You can see the light on their face once they see the manpower inside the area.
After 4 weeks on the ground, the 7-member team returned home from Jamaica on December 8th. What was the overall experience like? And what type of challenges did they face? Stay tuned for next week's episode of Keeping Current.
Well, still to come in Eyewitness News tonight, our resident adventurer is back on the road, and we'll tell you what she got into right after this break. But first, a check on tonight's weather forecast.
Stop, man, stop. But it's hot today, boy. Wait. You see that? Mm-hmm. That's snowing. I can cool off, man.
Where you going? Get back here. Don't go in that people.
I get inside there.
I can cook whatever you want tonight. Where you going?
You gonna do what?
I can cook whatever tonight.
I forget you can't cook.
Step out the heat and enter Skypole. Expert installation, cool comfort, and reliable service. Brought to you by Discount AC and Supplies. Your one-stop shop for top-tier AC units.
Only one item? Are you tired of limited choices? I'll have the one item on the menu, thank you. Wow! So many choices. Why settle for less when you deserve more? When it comes to the ways you pay, the more, the better. With a variety of payment options available, you can enjoy the freedom to choose what works best for you. Choose freedom. Choose flexibility. Choose from the full menu of payment options. The future of pay is digital.
At the Water and Sewage Corporation, safety and convenience are our top priorities. However, our meter readers face challenges that can make their job difficult. Locked gates to guard dogs sometimes leads to missed readings and estimated bills, which can be frustrating for you and us. That's why we're upgrading to digital meters. They bring safety, accuracy, and convenience to homes across the Bahamas. We can streamline data collection, reduce on-site visits, and provide more accurate bills with no more estimates. Digital meters also help detect leaks early, saving you from costly bills and reducing water waste. Soon, a user-friendly app will let you track your water usage, manage bills, and stay informed, all at your fingertips. Over the next year, we're rolling out digital meters nationwide, transforming how we serve you with a safer and cost-efficient water supply To learn about our digital meters, visit our website or call us today. And don't forget to update your information at any of our locations.
You're watching Eyewitness News.
Well, the holiday season is a time for fun here at Eyewitness News. You at home can win amazing prizes courtesy of our Eyewitness News 12 Days of Christmas giveaway. Tonight, we're kicking things off with day one. Delano Roker taking us inside a studio where holiday spirit and creativity meet. Be sure to head on over to our social media platforms and also answer tonight's question. What's the color of the bowl Delano is holding at the end of this report?
Christmas time is a season for family, for friends, and for finding moments to slow down. And at Casa Bar Studios, that bonding takes shape literally through pottery. Owner Aaliyah Knoll says her passion for clay began with a desire to make the art form more attainable.
I was living in Canada for about, I'd say like close to 10 years after I graduated college. And so when I came back, my whole kind of like mission is to make pottery accessible, to make it something that most Bahamians, if you just bump someone and you meet someone new, happen to just talk about pottery in my dream world, they'll be like, yes, I've tried it at least once in their life. So it's about, I guess, normalizing pottery and ceramics as an art.
But for many who walk through these doors, pottery isn't just a pastime. It's an opportunity to create memories that last long after the holiday fades.
You'll see in Africa, South America, Greek, pottery is something that brings communities and families together. Because there's so many different steps and phases. It's just a moment to sit down with your loved ones, friends, family, partners, whatever it is, and you guys are engaging in a tactile activity. A lot of people make fun of each other. There's this like competitive spirit that comes out. I think that depending on the activity that you choose, you bring out different sides of whoever it is you're enjoying this experience with.
So watch me first and then you can do it, okay? So I'm going to pinch, raise that outside finger up, and I'm going to raise the whole thing up, okay? So I'm going to pinch, raise that outside finger up, and I'm going to raise my whole hand up in a steady motion. Now go slow, because the reason we're going slow is because the rotations are happening slower. So you need the clay to go through a full rotation every time you gradually move up.
And tonight, one lucky winner will get the chance to create their very own masterpiece.
Now, you would have just seen the making process, but if you want to know how we got from this to this, Alia, tell me a little bit, what can the viewers possibly win here tonight?
Yes, so the viewers will be winning 2 passes to our wheel throwing basics class so they can make their very own bowls and glazing session as well.
And it's just been day one here at Eyewitness News, and the gifts keep on coming. Stay tuned for tomorrow's episode. I'm Delano Roker, Eyewitness News.
Go to social media and answer that question for that free gift. It's a major milestone tonight in Bahamian golf. Georgette Roll Harris has officially taken the helm as director of golf at the prestigious Royal Blue Golf Club. She's telling Eyewitness News that this moment is one she's kept on her vision board for years, saying she couldn't have done it without God in her new role. She's expected to oversee operations at the renowned Jack Nicklaus Signature Court, working to elevate the guest experience, enhance major tournaments, build key partnerships, and strengthen the club's outreach within the community. It's a defining chapter for Roll Harris and a big step forward for golf in the Bahamas.
I am super excited, especially when like anything that's on my vision board, when that comes to fruition, I'm definitely excited, right? Because it shows me that, I've been doing what's necessary to go ahead and achieve those goals. You know what? Head down, feet moving quickly, continuing to think as big as possible, identifying talent, strengthening the team, and then educating my team as well. Because I think that the more people that are at the table, just understanding really more about our product, where we're trying to go, then we can really start to get some really great dialogue and really grow from there. I've always been I've always been someone that's been focused on developing persons, right?
Will Harris says she's been playing the game for most of her life and owes so much of who she is to golf. Now she's looking forward to continuing to grow the sport and elevate the program at the Royal Blue.
Bahamas has given so much to junior golf, right? Whether it's with golf clubs or access. And so Bahamas done a really huge part in growing the game of junior golf here in the Bahamas, and we will continue to do that. We also remain and continue to be the most accessible golf course here on island, right, for our adult golfers. And so I'm just going to continue to, find more ways to grow the game, which is something that I've had a lot of practice with. And then of course, just continue, through the Bahamas Foundation.
Well, it's Tuesday and our resident adventurer Laurencia is back at it. This time she's learning the art of dough slapping with the team at Marco's Pizza. Let's see what she got into tonight.
Avventura. Okay, I think that's adventure in Italian, but I'm pretty sure that's not it. So, as you can see, I'm making pizza. Well, not making pizza, I'm dough slapping with Marco's Pizza. But before I do that, I'm gonna need my hairnet. So let's get into it.
Stretch it out because your hand, your fingers is basically stretching out with it. You can basically feel it stretching.
That's me doing a little something with the dough. But first, I caught up with the reigning dough slapping champion at Marco's Pizza in the Southwest Plaza, Diane Vasilis, who's been with the company for about 3 years. And she told me that challengers may be coming for her crown, but she's more than ready. She's saying the same motivation she had last year, she's ready to bring it back this time around, even though she admit that she was a little nervous.
So obviously y'all going to be afraid. So I was really afraid. It wasn't easy. It was not easy at all, but I pushed through.
So what is dough slapping? It's a competition that showcases employee skills in stretching fresh pizza dough with contestants from the various franchises across the island. Miss Diane walked us through the technique behind dough slapping, breaking down exactly how she mastered the moves that earned her the crown.
And when you push it through, you have to, like they say, dock. You have to dock around in a circle and then lift it up and then do it in a circular motion until you get a round circle, and then you place it on the screen, and then you proceed to make your edges for your crust.
And since we're talking about crust, Marco's offers options such as garlic butter, romaine seasoned Parmesan, and the classic, along with a wide variety of meals outside of pizzas. That includes subs, wings, salads, and pozzolis.
Pizza, I will go towards more the pozzoli.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I'm not a dough person like that, so I'll say it has less dough and I can manage eating it.
Oh, so but you only can slap up the dough, but you ain't like the dough.
I like it, but I prefer less dough.
Now that's out of the way, let's have some fun on this adventure.
This is what we are going to be stretching out today.
Correct.
You can round off your dough. So
Saucy, baby!
When you put it on, you basically go like this, in a circular motion.
Pepperoni pizza will do me well, but however, I think I'm going to be a little adventurous and do pepperoni and ham.
Basically, putting around the edges, the oil.
So like this?
Yeah, all around it.
All right, so we have our pepperoni and ham, nice and crispy and ready to eat. You taking me to slap up some dough, or I adjusted that and eat some pizza? Let's be real. I ain't gonna be hurt if you tell me the truth.
I don't mind taking you because I'm very impressed with what you did today.
I get impressed. I can't switch y'all. Y'all can't say nothing to me now. Y'all can't say nothing to me now. I'm a big pizza maker. So I'm not sure where my next adventure is going to take me, but I know one thing for sure. Miss Diane is rolling with me as we continue to slap up some dough. Laurencia Smith, Eyewitness News.
Thanks, Laurencia. That big pizza maker brought that pizza back to the newsroom. It was pretty good. Stay tuned next week for her next adventure. She's also up next with a check on sports right after this break.
As
As a healthcare professional, you dedicate your life to caring for others. But even with the best care, legal challenges can arise. Protect your practice and your peace of mind with medical malpractice insurance from Star General. At Star General, we've partnered with Lloyd's of London to bring you comprehensive professional liability insurance designed specifically for those consulting or practicing privately. Visit our website today so you can focus on what you do best, caring for your patients while we take care of the rest. Star General, insurance made simple.
'Twas the night before Christmas. The stage was set. Big Bang arrived. The biggest yet. Fantasy 5 flashing. Those 5 balls glow. Quick draw. Lotto making winners flow. The island erupting. The cheers grow bigger. Santa laughed out loud. Our balls are bigger. From Moneyland's heart, the truth was clear. At Island Luck, winners live here.
It's an island luck Christmas. Joy's in the air. Jackpots are rising. There's luck everywhere. No snow on the ground. Just sunshine and cheer. It's an island luck Christmas. The best time of year.
Big Bang, December 20th. See you there.
Spice it up with what we got.
Eyewitness Sports is brought to you by 103.5 The Beat.
Welcome to another edition of Eyewitness Sports. I'm Lauren C. Smith. Thanks for joining us.
Topping sports tonight from the Diamond. Team Bahamas will settle for silver after a tough 5-1 loss to the undefeated Curacao in the championship game of the 7th edition of the Caribbean Baseball Cup. It was already a historic night for the home team, making their first ever appearance in the tournament's gold medal game. Curacao struck early, taking a 1-0 lead in the opening inning. From there, the Bahamas held their ground, keeping the score unchanged throughout 4 innings, but struggled to generate the offense they needed. The momentum shifts in the 6th when heavy rain forced a delay and sent players to the dugout. Once players resumed, Curacao came out firing a 3-run home runner, widening the gap 5-1 and putting the game out of reach for Team Bahamas. Despite the loss, Team Bahamas caps off the tournament with an historic silver medal finish in front of the home crowd. Curacao will now advance to the 2026 CAC game scheduled for next summer in the Dominican Republic. In the bronze medal game earlier on Monday, the U.S. Virgin Islands defeated St. Martin 6-4. The Bahamas beat the U.S. Virgin Islands in the first game of the 6-day tournament 3-2 and then easily handled the Dominican Republic 29-0. In the second game, they lost their third game 2-1 to Curacao before beating St. Martin 2-1. Here's more from the team's head coach, Michael Butler.
What we have gotten, even though we fell short of our goal, the reality is simply this. We had a very short time to prepare this team, and all things considered, we felt that we did fairly well on our restructuring with our national development. We are happy with what we're seeing tonight. We see, obviously, we're going to do our post-mortem and we're going to move forward with our program.
Congratulations to Team Bahamas from all of us here at Eyewitness Sports. On to the NBA. Philadelphia 76ers rookie VJ Edgecombe continues to impress in his first NBA season, showing versatility, poise, and a knack for making big plays in clutch moments. The former high school standout finished Sunday's matchup against the Los Angeles Lakers with 15 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. After the game, he got big praise from the big man himself, DeAndre Ayton. They both played on the national team last summer as they were in hunt to make it to the Olympics. Now, Ayton was selected first overall in the 2018 NBA draft, and he says he's proud to watch the young Bahamians like Edgecombe make their mark in the league.
What are you going to get from that? That's my guy. That's a younger guy who was watching me and Buddy Hield, eventually do it, and he's another Bahamian doing his thing. It's his turn. So not his turn tonight, but it was his it's his turn to show, that, it's his turn that he, finally hit the limelight and, is going to represent the Bahamas the best way he can.
Well, that's what's making sports at this hour. I'm Lauren Smith. Stay tuned for more news on the other side of the break.
Welcome to Paradise Premium Foods, where exceptional taste meets everyday convenience. Right in the heart of Hurricane Hole Plaza, whether you're planning a beachside brunch, an intimate dinner, or simply restocking your favorites, we offer only the finest selection of local and imported goods, handpicked for quality, freshness, and flavor. At Paradise Premium Foods, shopping is effortless, service is personal, and every visit feels like a treat. From gourmet meals to go to organic essentials and indulgent treats, this is your neighborhood market elevated. Live well, eat better. Discover Paradise Premium Foods, now open at Hurricane Hole Plaza, Paradise Island. Paradise Premium Foods. Taste the difference.
Has expanded their testing menu. We now offer blood work, drug screening, and so much more. Our hours of operation are Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., located on 11 Madera Street. We are here for all of your laboratory needs, with fast and reliable lab work done by our friendly and knowledgeable staff. Let us help you take the needed steps to stay in the know about your health. Let's keep working towards a healthier you. Stay eatin' well.
Welcome to Paradise Premium Foods, where exceptional taste meets everyday convenience. Right in the heart of Hurricane Hole Plaza, whether you're planning a beachside brunch, an intimate dinner, or simply restocking your favorites, we offer only the finest selection of local and imported goods, handpicked for quality, freshness, and flavor. At Paradise Premium Foods, shopping is effortless, service is personal, and every visit feels like a treat. From gourmet meals to go to organic essentials and indulgent treats, this is your neighborhood market elevated. Live well, eat better. Discover Paradise Premium Foods, now open at Hurricane Hole Plaza, Paradise Island. Paradise Premium Foods. Taste the difference.
As a healthcare professional, you dedicate your life to caring for others. But even with the best care, legal challenges can arise. Protect your practice and your peace of mind with medical malpractice insurance from Star General. At Star General, we've partnered with Lloyd's of London to bring you comprehensive professional liability insurance designed specifically for those consulting or practicing privately. Visit our website today so you can focus on what you do best, caring for your patients, while we take care of the rest. Star General, insurance made simple.
You're watching Eyewitness News.
This hour, Breaking news at this hour from police. They're informing that a traffic fatality taking place on East Street and Andrews Avenue. It's claimed the life of a pedestrian. We understand that that pedestrian is said to be a male. We do have a team en route to the scene. Be sure to continue to stay tuned to Eyewitness News social media pages for all of the latest updates. Again, police on the scene of a traffic fatality. It's claimed the life of a pedestrian on East Street and Andrews Avenue. A story we are continuing to follow tonight. But that wraps up news this Tuesday. Coming up and Beyond the Headlines with Shanique Miller, it's a look at all of today's top stories. That's coming up and Beyond the Headlines. It starts right after this. That does it for us here at Eyewitness News. It's certainly been a pleasure having you in our company tonight. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Janae Nawal saying good night and be safe, everyone.
We all know there are ways we can help. Your help can go even further. Be an everyday superhero. Donate to Hands for Hunger.
Tired of driving around from place to place just to get your car insured and licensed? Frustrated with the process of being back and forth from your insurance company to road traffic? Well, BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers just made insuring and licensing your motor vehicle as easy as 1, 2, 3. Step 1. Visit us at the Road Traffic Department, Section 1, Thomas A. Robinson Sports Stadium. At our office, you can purchase or renew your insurance or get your vehicle inspected. We at BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers represent major carriers. Step 2. See the professionals at Road Traffic to get your vehicle licensed. Step 3. Enjoy your day. Insure with BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers today, saving you time and money. Your one-stop shop for all of your insurance needs. Great rates, convenient, excellent service. For more information, call us at 322-2221.
So you want a space, but not just any space. You need something with a little more potential. So how about 1,000 square feet of room to play with? Superb audio and video production capability, digital LED wall, full lighting grid, and about 124 seats to accommodate a full studio audience with so many other features. Make us your home for your next concert, conference, and so much more. Honestly, the possibilities are endless. Here at ILTV Studios, we'd love to bring your next event to life. So what do you say? Do you want our space?
We all know there are ways we can help. Your help can go even further. Be an everyday superhero. Donate to Hands for Hunger.
Tired of driving around from place to place just to get your car insured and licensed? Frustrated with the process of being back and forth from your insurance company to road traffic? Well, BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers just made insuring and licensing your motor vehicle as easy as 1, 2, 3. Step 1. Visit us at the Road Traffic Department, Section 1, Thomas A. Robinson Sports Stadium. At our office, you can purchase or renew your insurance or get your vehicle inspected. We at BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers represent major carriers. Step 2. See the professionals at Road Traffic to get your vehicle licensed. Step 3. Enjoy your day. Insure with BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers today, saving you time and money. Your one-stop shop for all of your insurance needs. Great rates, convenient, excellent service. For more information, call us at 322-2221.
So you want a space. But not just any space. You need something with a little more potential. So how about 1,000 square feet of room to play with? Superb audio and video production capability, digital LED wall, full lighting grid, and about 124 seats to accommodate a full studio audience with so many other features. Make us your home for your next concert, conference, and so much more. Honestly, the possibilities are endless. Here at ILTV Studios, we'd love to bring your next event to life. So what do you say? Do you want our space? The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by the hosts, guests, and callers on Beyond the Headlines are not necessarily those of management, ownership, or production unit of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without express written permission of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2021.
Coming up tonight has caused more pushback than any other piece of legislation in recent time. Well, tonight, the Smuggling of Migrants Bill 2025 is on its way to the Senate, but already there are threats to repeal the act. Was the bill rushed? That's the question many of you are asking tonight. And so, of course, it's nearly the middle of December, and normally Parliament would have quieted by now. And so we put that question to National Security Minister Wayne Munro. Why the removal instead of revision of Section 11 of the bill? All those questions tonight. And then later, a look at holiday festivities in Mical. It's Christmas time, y'all. This is Beyond the Headlines. Good evening. I'm Shanique Miller. It's great to have you along this evening. House members passing the controversial Smuggling in Migrants Bill last evening in Parliament, deleting Section 11, which suggests immunity for alleged victims of human smuggling. National Security Minister Wayne Munro said they responded to the concerns of the public over the bill. As Prime Minister Davis added, better protection was needed for our borders.
If you use our islands or our jurisdiction as part of your criminal enterprise, we will come after you wherever you operate. It doesn't matter if you never stop or step foot on a boat in our waters. If you organize this activity, if you coordinated or funded it, if it is your boat or plane is in use, if you forge documents, you are a criminal under the law. This law in particular. Until now, our officers and prosecutors have had to piece together cases from provisions in the Penal Code, the Immigration Act, and other laws to capture the conduct of the smuggler. Smuggling rings require planning, financing, transportation, and harboring. Yet, our laws did not clearly define the chain of conduct as one offense with one set of strong penalties. This bill defines the smuggling of migrants as a crime distinct from immigration offenses and establishes that if you plan or organize the route, you can be charged.
Well, we're going to start right there this evening. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines, Minister of National Security, Wayne Munro. Good evening to you, Minister Munro. It's good to have you here.
Good evening, Shanique. Good to be back.
A lot has been said about this bill. This bill is trending every which way. I mean, doctors, lawyers, everybody. The asylum bill, that's what you're talking about? That has been, that word has taken over this bill, and we'll get to that in a moment. But Minister Munro, many feel this bill was rushed through Parliament. That public consultation should have happened. With so much chatter about the bill happening, was one day of debate sufficient, you think?
Most bills are debated in a day. The budget is the one exception that we go outside of a debate of a day. The convention was signed in 2001. Its final session was in 2008. The bill was settled and was consulted broadly.
The convention in terms of this bill and its provisions?
Yeah, the convention against the protocol against smuggling of migrants at sea, air, and on land. And we signed up to it in 2001. We acceded to it in 2008. Both of those were Ingram administrations. And we came now to domesticating it. For the reasons that the world has come to it. We lay over 180,000 square miles of ocean. People have the right to pass through our territory. In terms of smuggling by sea, for instance, the Defense Force tells us they have intercepted, over the period of 4 years, about 400 targets, 320 inbound, and about 170 outbound to the U.S. That's the Chinese, the Ecuadorians, the rest of those trying to get smuggled to the U.S. That's about 100 plus a year. Divided by 50 weeks, that's at least 2 vessels a week being intercepted. And because you do not have a smuggling of migrants bill, there's really nothing you can do with regard to smuggling exercise. So this very week, they intercepted a Donzi boat with 2 male Ecuadorians, 2 females, a Dominican and an American captain.
This was today?
No, this was earlier this week.
Right, I see it. We have it on the screen right now.
Yeah, that's it. And because you did not have this bill, the Americans and ourselves, because it's a cooperative exercise, take that as a smuggling event. But they can't be charged with anything because, one, they're not coming here. They don't want to land here. There's a Court of Appeal case, Hernandez, that says that if you don't intend to land here, there's no offense committed. And so we've had to end up trying to deal with that in customs. Did you get a cruising permit? Did you check into customs when you entered?
So all those things around, just as you mentioned, instead of directly now with a smuggler's bill that will soon be law in place to directly attack that, like you say, you've apprehended that, the Defense Force has, and so the thing is now you go and say, do you have a customs permit? Do you have this? Do you have that? Versus going and saying 300,000 jail time, the rest of it.
And if they had a cruising permit, there's nothing you can do. Not only 300,000 jail time, the vessel is confiscated.
Right.
And the vessel being confiscated says to people, this cost you something significant you are risking. So think about that, 400 in the 4 years, that's at a rate about 2 a week. And then, of course, you have the U.S. National Security Strategy released, and they're not being very patient with people over protection of their borders from irregular migration and drug trafficking. They're not playing at all.
No, they're not.
And they're telling you they're not playing at all.
Right, absolutely. Well,
and there was an NBC report done where they came to interview myself and the Commander of the Defense Force based on complaints from sheriffs in Florida about the very thing. People are consolidated here, attempted to be trafficked to the U.S., and there's absolutely nothing the Defense Force can do if they intercept them on their way out, because they have not broken any laws, they're legally here. But under this bill, we would be able to live up with our obligation to our neighbors to the north to say you're attempting to smuggle these people to the U.S. and we can arrest you and deal with it.
Well, Minister Monroe, look at you tonight describing for the Bahamian people exactly why this bill is necessary. It's the right bill for now. And the fact that the United States has been complaining already to this government and especially to your departments in the various areas you're responsible for. Why did the PLP why did the government drop the ball on this? Why didn't you come out and talk about this before? Because as you have seen, there's a ton of confusion, protests, interpretation about this bill. It's called the asylum bill. It's called everything but the smuggler's bill. But you just said, listen, and we all have seen, none of us are dumb. We have seen President Trump and his administration talk about the third world nations, talk about outside of human and trafficking and smuggling, just talk about obviously illegal immigrants and the rest of it, and where they are targeting and who they're looking at. And then we saw this bill, but nothing much was said in terms of really just sitting and saying, listen, Bahamian people, sit down for a moment, let's have a talk.
Well, how you message that is a different issue. What happens is one would never believe that there would be any traction to an assertion that this is an asylum bill. And the reason for that is we already have a refugee and asylum unit at the Bahamas Immigration Department. So somebody trying to advance that asylum is something new in the Bahamas would have been something that would have been difficult to forget before you actually see it. All you needed to do was do a simple Google search and you would come across the Asylum Refugee Unit of the Bahamas Department of Immigration. You could go on their page, you read all the details that will tell you, coming from a poor country don't qualify you for asylum. Coming from a country where you have disorder in Port-au-Prince but peace elsewhere doesn't entitle you to asylum. And it's all set right there. And so the fact that you have people talking all kind of things, I heard somebody say, oh, the U.S. is going to kick out the Haitians who had temporary protected status, and they're all going to try and come here. Really? The U.S. is a signature to this protocol as well. We cooperate with them, they cooperate with us. Up until now, we hadn't domesticated it. They have. When the temporary protective status leave, they go back to their country of origin. It's not very difficult, but you have people
well, let's talk about that temporary, yes,
and listening to it. So to say that every bill that you advance in a silly season, and this is probably an eye-opener because we have other legislation, you just don't stop because you're in silly season. Just because somebody comes and says something that's fairly outlandish, well, my advice is Google it. Look for a reputable source and then see what it says.
Minister Monroe, you know, very few Bahamians do exactly as you said just now. And so let's talk about this silly season and how this has become an asylum bill. The narrative has run away with what this bill is intended on doing. When we saw that boat just now and the fact that it was identified as a smuggling operation, you described what now stands versus what will stand once this bill is law. Yeah. And so that's very, very simple to understand. And so, but people are saying another thing that you heard about the pretend asylum that they're trying to sneak in with this is just as you said a moment ago, when those migrants that are smuggled, who paid to be smuggled, mm-hmm. when they are smuggled, they will not be criminalized with this new bill. And they will fall under the immigration law?
Yes.
Please explain that.
Well, the protocol itself says that you cannot criminalize migrants when you adopt this strict scheme and structure. It says that in clause 5. You know, it was sad in the House, the member for East Grand Bahama, Crazy Thompson, said he'd read the protocol. The protocol says you cannot criminalize migrants, and that gave rise to the unfortunate drafting of Clause 11, which was wholly unnecessary, and which is why when it caused alarm, you remove it. But the protocol itself says that. Now, the migrant, like those folks there, they wouldn't have broken any of our immigration laws because they didn't intend to land or stay in the Bahamas, but they would have offended this bill. The migrants who do attempt to land and land would be charged and prosecuted under the existing law that they have been prosecuted for ages, decades. Nothing that was ever in this bill sought to set aside any other bill. There was no repeal of any other bill at all. And in fact, the opening words to Section 11, without prejudice, says we're leaving everything else that criminalizes behavior. We're just sticking to offenses under this bill. And it has to say that because the convention says you cannot criminalize migrants. And again, the protocol on smuggling by sea, air, and land is also something you can Google, and you will pull it up, and it's a simple read. It's a very simple read. So what I'm encouraging the public is you don't listen to a lot of, you might listen, but then, as the Bible says, you have to have discretion, and you have to have discernment.
And understanding.
And we have the tools to permit you to ask simple questions, and then you start to get places where you will see the answer.
So this isn't, here's a question you might think is silly, but this is quite trending. This ain't that the government, and you've answered it a minute ago, but having these migrants come now and sit and act as, or fall under the category of asylum seekers, get that temporarily, with the housing, with the however long that is, the medical care, the school, all the rest of it, trying to sneak in persons to give documentation to?
Well, the migrants under this bill will be treated just like the migrants that are awaiting deportation. We house them at the detention center. They get medical care at the detention center. The ones who are getting education and food get them at the detention center, and then you're deported at the end of the day. Nothing in this bill says anything different from that. And one would be pressed to be pointed to it. It simply sets out standards, and again, if you read the protocol, these things exist anyway, but the protocol requires you to put them in the bill. So this thing about protecting migrants from violence, that's automatic, because violence would be a crime. And there's an automatic obligation to that. The fact that somebody would have a problem with that is what is very troubling. But at the end of the day, nothing new happens. You will have the exact same thing that happens now when we intercept the people who we cannot charge with smuggling with persons.
Right.
For instance, the Chinese and the Jamaican who were interdicted trying to enter the U.S., they were returned to us. And they went into the detention center. They weren't illegal. They weren't charged with illegal landing. So they got the temporary status to be in the detention center, and then they were deported. Nothing about this bill says anything other than you are going to be returned to your place of origin unless you happen to make a successful application for asylum, which you can do now, which since 2016 there have been 54 applications.
54 since 2016?
In that entire period. And of which I think it was like 8 have been successful. And of those 8, only 3 of those persons remain in the Bahamas. 1 is in Spain, and the others are in other countries.
Are asylum seekers given outside of temporary status for whatever length of time, are they also given documentation in terms of naturalization?
No. You will apply for asylum. You will have to show. For instance, if you go on the immigration site, you will see, saying I'm from, for instance, Haiti, because that's the Haitian menace Bahamian people have in their minds. And you'll say, I'm from Haiti, I'm poor. That's not a reason to get asylum. I'm from Haiti, Port-au-Prince in an uproar. That's not a reason to get asylum. We have deported people back to Haiti. Remember when Cape Haitian Airport was closed because of the firing at an aircraft?
Mm-hmm.
We deported Haitians to Cape Haitian by sea because Cape Haitian is safe to deport people to. So none of that permits you to get asylum here. On the immigration side, it's very clear how you get asylum. And when I say it was only 54 applications even considered over a period of 9 years, that's about 5 a year. And then out of that, if you have 10 approved in that same time period, that's at the rate of 1 a year. And just the person getting refugee status isn't refugee status to stay here. It's just a status of a refugee that if you go back home, you may be killed for reasons of religion, politics, that type of thing. But the vast majority of the approved ones that I saw in the note sent to me travel on elsewhere.
People are asking, you mentioned that Clause 11 or Section 11 was removed after people had a whole lot of objection to it, and it caused much of this outrage. But there are others who are saying, why not just revise it? That bills and laws are revised all the time in the United States between the House and the Senate. Why not just do that versus removing it to give the impression that something may have been wrong with it to start with?
No, but you revise it because people have an issue with it, right? And so you do that. The thing I pointed out in my contribution is this. There are only 5 offenses created by the Act. Smuggling of a migrant. As defined, a migrant can't smuggle him or herself. The next offense created is organizing, abetting, directing, or aiding smuggling of a migrant. A migrant can't do that. Enabling an illegal stay of a smuggled migrant. A migrant can't do that. Harboring or attempting to harbor a smuggled migrant. A migrant can't do that. And the last one, abetment or criminal conspiracy of harboring or attempting to harbor a smuggled migrant. A migrant can't do that. So as drafted, the bill complied with Clause 5, but a draft, and you see it often in bills, we call it having belts and braces being suspended, add the thing without prejudice to the applicability of any other law establishing a criminal offense. You shan't be guilty of an offense under this bill. But you can't commit any of those offenses anyway. Mm-hmm. But this was just to make it clear that no offense is being committed. So if people do not understand what without prejudice to the applicability of any other law establishing a criminal offense means in law, you can engage in a long educational exercise about it. But if you remove it, the question is, can a migrant commit any offense under this bill? And the answer is no. Their offenses would remain under the Immigration Act.
Yeah. And as we wrap up this segment, how do you continue, you and the government, to try get people to this is very important to understand, I believe, particularly based on what's happening in the United States and the very strict changes that's happening there, and also the meetings that you've already had directly with lawmakers in Florida, for example. How will you plan on getting Bahamians to further understand this and not think, as is being suggested, that something afoul is afoot, like this is something different?
Well, you will get the bottom to the bottom of it. Persons have to exercise discernment and judgment. I've directed to the places that you can go to satisfy yourself of what the facts are. You do not have to rely on somebody just picking up a phone and talking into a phone. You don't know who that person is. You don't know what their level of training, education, knowledge is. So that alone doesn't do it. You have the ability to yourself read the protocol, read the bill, read the U.S. National Security Strategy. I would suggest every Bahamian do that. And then read the Immigration Act. Go on the immigration site, read what their refugee asylum unit says, if asylum is a big boogeyman for you.
Minister of National Security Wayne Munroe, of course, this is the bill that he led the debate on, and he is here this evening to further clarify what this smuggling of migrants bill 2025 is, the provisions of it, and when it comes into law, what we saw at the top of the show in terms of that boat now just sort of, by the way, they took the boat?
I'm not sure that they could have charged with an offense to confiscate the vessel.
Because we have no laws at this very moment until this comes into effect. I just would love to discuss this more with you or other members of your team. I think until people get it, it's important enough. But I thank you very much, Minister Munroe. Thank you for being here this evening.
Thank you, Shani.
Beyond the Headlines is back right after this. Stay close.
Welcome to Sunburst Super Christmas Sale, where you buy 5 and get 1 free. Prices start at just $28.95 for top quality wall paints and high gloss oil paints for $55.95 a gallon. Lucky customers get a chance to win a 42-inch TV every Saturday starting now. The drawing will take place at Sunburst Paints the first week of December. You can also have a chance to win one of 2 65-inch TVs during the month of December. So hurry on down to Sunburst Paints on Harold Road, where you buy 5 and get 1 free. Happy holidays, everybody! Janae's Chesapeake Road Christmas Wonderland is open. Get up to 40%, yes, 40% off decorations this season. Christmas trees in a variety of sizes and colors, and decorated by choosing from the largest variety of Christmas decorations in town. Musical LEDs and laser lights, ornaments, lighted angels and Santas, garlands, wreaths, tree skirts, stockings, and lots more. Oh, the array of flowers and picks choices. Don't forget the toys. Up to 40% off things Christmas at Janae's. Restrictions apply. Check out some selections online at janae's.com.
It's a Holy Frosty Christmas, and Wendy's and Coke is bringing the chill. This year, when you upgrade any Wendy's combo to a large, you can instantly win big with the Upgrade and Win Christmas giveaway. We're talking travel gift cards, gadgets, holiday treats, and prizes that make your Holy Frosty Christmas shine. Just upgrade your favorite lunch combo, scan the QR code on your receipt to enter, and let the holiday magic begin. Enjoy great tasting food and win big this Christmas with Wendy's and Coca-Cola's Upgrade and Win. Rules and restrictions apply.
It's Christmas, come again. Time for color, family and friends. Red and green, the perfect pair. For a season so sincere. Baby Jesus in a manger. Loved ones who once were perfect strangers. At the same place, coloring supreme. Let us bring to life your Christmas dreams.
At the Water and Sewage Corporation, safety and convenience are our top priorities. However, our meter readers face challenges that can make their job difficult. Locked gates to guard dogs sometimes leads to missed readings and estimated bills, which can be frustrating for you and us. That's why we're upgrading to digital meters. They bring safety, accuracy, and convenience to homes across the Bahamas. We can streamline data collection, reduce on-site visits, and provide more accurate bills with no more estimates. Digital meters also help detect leaks early, saving you from costly bills and reducing water waste. Soon, a user-friendly app will let you track your water usage, manage bills, and stay informed, all at your fingertips. Over the next year, we're rolling out digital meters nationwide, transforming how we serve you with a safer and cost-efficient water supply. To learn about our digital meters, visit our website or call us today. And don't forget to update your information at any of our locations.
Very dry, tight, sensitive skin? Relieve it in 60 seconds with Aveeno Skin Relief. With soothing triple oat complex, clinically proven to heal and strengthen dry skin. Aveeno, your skin stronger.
Don't let diarrhea steal your sunshine. Imodium Multi-Symptom Relief gets to work fast in just 1 hour, offering our most complete relief from diarrhea, bloating, gas, and cramps. So you can get diarrhea off your mind. Imodium. Calm the chaos of diarrhea.
Welcome to Paradise Games, where exceptional service meets the ultimate gaming experience. Our dedicated team is here to make every visit a win.
Now this is paradise.
This is more than just a place to play. Now this is paradise. It's where excitement meets world-class service.
Now this is paradise.
Now this is paradise.
Come experience it for yourself. Now this is paradise.
Beyond the Headlines is now introducing powerful TV advertising opportunities made just for you. Choose our television ad package, 20 30-second ads for $2,000 or 20 60-second ads for $2,500 plus VAT. Prefer flexibility? Go a la carte. Just $150 for a 30-second ad or $200 for a 60-second ad. Step into the spotlight with our interview package. One 15-minute interview for $500 or 4 for $15 per month. Or bring Beyond the Headlines directly to you with our live on location package, only $2,600 plus VAT. For more information, contact our sales agent at 242-466-6173.
Welcome to Sunburst Super Christmas Sale, where you buy 5 and get 1 free. Prices start at just $28.95 for top quality wall paints and high gloss oil paints for $55.95 a gallon. Lucky customers get a chance to win a 42-inch TV every Saturday starting now. The drawing will take place at Sunburst Paints the first week of December. You can also have a chance to win one of 2 65-inch TVs during the month of December. So hurry on down to Sunburst Paints on Harold Road, where you buy 5 and get 1 free. Happy holidays, everybody! Janae's Chesapeake Road Christmas Wonderland is open. Get up to 40%, yes, 40% off decorations this season. Christmas trees in a variety of sizes and colors, and decorated by choosing from the largest variety of Christmas decorations in town. Musical LEDs and laser lights, ornaments, lighted angels and Santas, garlands, wreaths, tree skirts, stockings, and lots and lots more. Oh, the array of flowers and picks choices. Don't forget the toys. Up to 40% off things Christmas at Janae's. Restrictions apply. Check out some selections online at janae's.com.
It's a Holly Frosty Christmas, and Wendy's and Coke is bringing the cheer. This year, when you upgrade any Wendy's combo to a large, you can instantly win big with the Upgrade and Win Christmas giveaway. We're talking travel gift cards, gadgets, holiday treats, and prizes that make your Holly Frosty Christmas shine. Just upgrade your favorite lunch combo, scan the QR code on your receipt to enter, and let the holiday magic begin. Enjoy great tasting food and win big this Christmas with Wendy's and Coca-Cola's Upgrade and Win. Rules and restrictions apply.
It's Christmas, come again. Time for color, family and friends. Red and green, the perfect pair. For a season so sincere. Baby Jesus in a manger. Loved ones who once were perfect strangers. At the faint place, coloring supreme. Let us bring to life your Christmas dreams.
At the Water and Sewage Corporation, safety and convenience are our top priorities. However, our meter readers face challenges that can make their job difficult. Locked gates to guard dogs sometimes leads to missed readings and estimated bills, which can be frustrating for you and us. That's why we're upgrading to digital meters. They bring safety, accuracy, and convenience to homes across the Bahamas. We can streamline data collection, reduce on-site visits, and provide more accurate bills.
This segment is brought to you by EV Motors Fleet Sales Division. For 2026 commercial vehicles, call 821-2403 today.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. It's good to have you all tuned in. I hope you all enjoyed and paid attention. More importantly, paid attention to the first segment with Minister of National Security, Wayne Monroe, talking about the Smuggling of Migrants Bill 2025, which was passed in the House of Assembly last evening, by the way, on its way to the Senate. But it's something that really has caught a lot of attention. And really, I'm going to start right there this evening. I'm going to bring in Beyond the Headlines contributors, Cassius Stewart, Garth Rosborough. Gentlemen, good evening to both of you. It's great to have you both here. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines.
Always a pleasure, Shanique. Good night. Good to be here again tonight, Shanique, man.
Your thoughts, gentlemen, first of all, of what the minister said and how he explained it, but everything that even today, there was just a whole lot of information coming out of the F&M's camp. Then I don't think the COI had anything to say, but yet they did, because I think they were promoting an appearance. But gentlemen, and then of course, there is the narrative that's been put out in the public, and then the minister came and he spoke to some stuff, including you all. The United States new laws as they impact and affect the Bahamas, and one-on-one meetings with Florida officials and law enforcement who say, listen, you guys are beginning to be a problem based on what's showing up on our shores.
And Shanique, I listened carefully to the cry out there in the wilderness about this, they call it the asylum bill, and I weep for my country because, the people who want to lead our country don't seem to be able to comprehend common basic laws and basic statutes. And you can't want to position yourself to be the leader of a country when you misinterpret these laws, and then you're creating mass hysteria that is causing a whole bunch of people who cannot read and depend on you for the interpretation, and you're causing them to be hysterical. I mean, I heard one thing saying that a whole lot of Haitians are going to come and they're going to take over the Bahamas, and we got to feed them and we got to bid them free. I mean, it's just total absolute nonsense. And I'm saying, how do these people who positioning themselves to want to lead this country, the two political parties out there, and I'm saying to myself, y'all can't read? I mean, y'all can't comprehend? I've read the bill about 3 times now, just because I had to go back to figure out what the hell these people was talking about. And it says absolutely nothing that the people from the black party and the people from the red party saying. It's like these people that can't read. And so you can't want to lead a country or even a political party without having the capacity to comprehend. That's basic knowledge. And so, Shanique, I was glad that the minister laid it out in simple cases, and I don't think I need to go over it anymore, because I didn't beat up my gum over and over and over trying to tell people it doesn't say that the bill is a good bill. If it was a bad bill, I would tell you it's a bad bill. But the bill strengthens the borders of the Bahamas. It does not provide any amnesty for nobody. It doesn't give nobody any citizenship. So all that garbage they perpetrating is foolishness. And so if we don't, what we really need, Shanique, is that if these people who wrote there making noise win the government, we need an amnesty bill to get out of here, because our country could be in trouble.
Well, last night I made mention that this is all about either legislative clarification, or political aspiration.
Yes.
And legislative clarification simply requires patience in terms of understanding exactly what is laid out in front of you. Even myself, not being a legal mind, not being a lawyer myself, understood that this is something I need to first observe, I need to be patient, I need to listen, I need to understand in its full written form, and once that is actually understood by myself, then I make a judgment call. What I saw in this situation was many people simply maybe read a line or two, maybe heard about a line or two, and simply jumped on an emotional bandwagon that the Bahamas is finished, and it quickly became political aspiration. As I heard people saying, oh my God, they've thrown away the country to the Haitians. Oh my God, I can't support the government party no more. I got to go and vote for somebody else. And I asked the question, who are you going to vote for? They didn't even have anyone else to vote for. And so I then realized that, you know what? Truly, the carnival is in town.
Yeah, no, and you're right, Garth. You had to, and I agree. I discussed it with you, Cassius, with Garth, with Ellington. I discussed it with Howard and others, because I wanted to make sure I understood what was happening, because I'm not here to be a proponent of losing the Bahamas and our sovereignty to migrants. Mind you, every nation is built up of migrants. But I'm saying to this illegal immigration problem that we know we are tired of, I'm not here to be a proponent for that or even to push in favor of that. So I too wanted to say, let's just wait for a moment. Let's hear more. Let's hear more on every side, and then make a sound decision and just be well informed before we jump to conclusions.
See, but the political leaders out there who are saying this, they're like Joneses. They want to win this election so bad that they'll do anything to win. They'll lie to their mommy, they'll lie to other people, they'll lie to anybody. The one thing you want to do, I'm going to give you all some advice as political leaders. If you want to win the hearts of the people, show how you're going to add value to their lives. Don't try to make somebody else look bad so that you can look good. You bring your stuff to the table. You bring your song to the dance. And so what I suggest you all do is tell the Bahamian people how you all can smuggle us out of poverty, how you can smuggle the masses of Bahamians out of poverty into prosperity. So you lay out your platform and your plans instead of running on, but, oh, the government can sell the country. That's absolute nonsense. You ain't saying nothing about how you're going to save the country, what kind of plans you bring in for the future, how you can develop the Bahamas, and how you can make Bahamian people's lives better. And so, for me, these political parties are a waste of time now, because I weep for my country because they're bringing nothing to the table. And so, how do you want people to vote for you when you're only talking about what the government doing bad or what the government doing? Then tell me what you can do. So if you want to win the girl, don't talk about how her boyfriend look and how ugly he is. Tell her what you can do for her, so you could win her over.
I tell you, outrage is growing among straw vendors who say they've been left to fend for themselves after thieves. This is after thieves allegedly broke into the temporary Fort Charlotte straw market setup, of course, damaging their stalls right before the holiday season. Linton Ritchie Jr. has the story, and then we'll come back and talk about it.
What makes me more doubly angry this morning, I lost all of my T-shirts, my sweatshirts, my souvenirs. I've lost it all.
Vendors at the Fort Charlotte Straw Market say their livelihood has been disrupted after an early morning break-in left numerous stalls ransacked with losses they estimate in the thousands. When Eyewitness News visited the temporary tent site, there were clear signs of vandalism. Ripped bags, torn clothing, and broken lines where goods were once displayed.
We've been having the break-in. This morning there were about 5 vendors that got break-in on Fort Fincastle.
What you're looking at are T-shirts that are nicely folded and these lovely handbags that are hanging properly. Now, if you come a little closer, you can see that handbags up here were ripped down from the chains, and things in the amount of sweatshirt, T-shirts, and stuffed animals that were piled up here were all taken by culprits.
It is more than angriness, and I'm tired of this. We need to be relocated, not tomorrow. Today, get my stall replenished today.
President of the Fort Fincastle Vendor Association, Tanya Fernandez, says despite following investigative protocols, the vendors do not feel justice has been served.
Take inventory of what you lost. We did that. They say call the police. We call the police. They come, they fingerprint. Nothing is given back.
Police confirmed to Eyewitness News that investigations are underway, but noted that the vendors' lease agreement states they should not leave items overnight because the tents are not secured. The temporary setup is located on Fort Charlotte grounds due to the ongoing repairs at Fort Fincastle. Vendors say the move was initially expected to last 4 months, but has now stretched to nearly a year.
It's a bunch of lies. They said we're going to be ready to go back to the fort on November, the end of November. Today now is the 9th of December.
Eyewitness News also visited the construction site at Fort Fincastle. Work was visible on multiple vendor booths, though officials on site could not give a completion date for when the area will be fully restored and vendors can return to their secured spaces. Linton Ritchie Jr., Eyewitness News.
I'll tell you, it is unfortunate, Cassius and Garth. It's so unfortunate that those people there temporarily placed, because there is a huge amount of work happening at that water tower area, and they had to stop because the vendors were there while construction was happening, but they had to stop because insurance said no, not with this level of work going on, that you can have these people moving about there. So they had to be housed temporarily elsewhere so that work can quickly get done. And it's coming along very nicely. I spoke with the contractor and the team last week about it, and they're all excited for this to quickly get back open because it's one of the more desired locations for tourists and a number of people to visit on a daily basis. It really is very beautiful up there, and obviously with the work that's done. Now, this is just disgusting. The fact that these hard-working people, these vendors, are under the tents and are there until this area is completed, at the work there at the water tower is completed, for some flippin' misguided, I don't know who, to go and get into those tents and rob those people. It's just ugly.
Yeah, Shanique, what do you say? I visited a country the other day, and I ask a lot of questions when I visit foreign countries. And I asked him, how is the crime level? And the man said to me, there is no crime in my country. I said, why? He said, because if you steal, they chop off your hand. And if you kill someone, they kill you the same day. And so I said, look, like we need to borrow some of that because
a lot of it.
You know, how do you deal with people? See, you have to show people that the consequences for their actions will hurt them. And so they figure they could steal and get away with it and so on. But in our country, you know, there's numerous ways that people can violate the law, and from speeding, from running the red light, and there's no repercussions. So we figure it's a free-for-all in the Bahamas. And so if you pick up somebody else's stuff or you steal someone else's stuff, you figure you can get away with it. But in other countries, they say, listen, if you steal, we chop off your hand. You will never steal again. And maybe we need to consider laws like that. God.
You know, I'm looking at this and I'm still just in shock because the water tower is something, Shanique Miller, that I just adored as a child. And to see them actually just going ahead and renovating that entire area, to me, I am just so excited about that. I also can understand the need to move the stores temporarily as construction is now taking place. And it is going to take sacrifice for those people who earn a living or a livelihood to actually move temporarily. No one really likes temporary moves, but in this situation, it is necessary in order to do this particular job right, seeing that I'm also familiar with what it takes in terms of construction. And there's so many hindrances when it comes to construction. It can be materials, it can be the weather conditions, it could be staff that's not showing up to work. So you're gonna have some impediments. What we don't need in a situation is the vandalism, Shanique Miller. And when we see our people who tend to look over everyone else's shoulder and become envious, Shanique, and jealous, and we say bad-minded, like Cassius Short said, there has to be some penalty for such individuals. But on the other hand as well, those of you who are living in tents, you do understand that those tents are not secured. And you must also take some responsibility to also secure your wares. Do not depend on anyone else to secure you. You have to be responsible yourself. Yes, it's unfortunate, but now that you know, what do you do tomorrow? You secure yourself, you go out there, you hustle, you make your money, and you pray to the good Lord that you will soon return to the primary spot or the prime spot of that particular water tower. I love it. And I can't wait to see you there making the money the way I'm accustomed to seeing you make your money.
Maybe collectively they could all put up and pay for security guard to watch their stuff.
Well, I thought about that.
And so, you know, they make money if everybody threw them a little $5, $10 and so on. You know, they could have a security guard watch their stuff 24 hours of the day. But you have to do whatever, like God said, secure your own perimeter. But
they're going to ask the government to pay that. I'm going to show you that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We have not evolved to a society where people respect one another's
property.
Yeah,
because aren't you all amazed that in parts of the UK, I'm even talking about Europe, just the UK, people go and buy fruit or baked goods and just put the money there on the side of the road.
Yes.
And this happens today in 2025. It's set up there. You pay. You put your money there in a basket where anybody could go and thief it, not steal, thief. And then you go and you take whatever the goods, the baked good is or whatever, and you put your money there and walk away.
I was in the Netherlands, and I was catching the train, and I bought the ticket, but nobody got the ticket from me. And I bought the tram ticket, and nobody bought the tram ticket. So I asked him, why doesn't nobody come and check? The lady said, because we expect you to be responsible. And I said to myself, my God, how far are we from that? In other words, we don't need to check. We just expect for you to do what you need to do as a responsible citizen. And so as a responsible citizen, if you see someone things, you leave it alone. You don't steal other people's things. You don't break in people's home. That's not what we do. And so we have to set societal norms. We have to set parameters, and we have to let them know that if you violate these parameters, there's severe repercussions. If you steal, we will punish you. If you rape, we will castrate you. And so we have to set parameters across the board. And so once they know the parameters are, then when they make the decision, that's on them because they accepted the penalty for the decisions they made.
Beyond the Headlines is back right after this.
The Bahamas is the premier destination for fly fishing because of its unique geography.
We've got the third largest barrier reef in the world in the Bahamas.
We have the largest aggregation of mangroves in the Western Hemisphere.
Which simply means we've got the largest marine biodiversity than anywhere else in the world.
I am unapologetic about Bahamians being owners in our #1 industry.
We should not just say it, we should have it enacted into certain policies.
The Bahamas Fly Fishing Industry Association was instrumental in the 2017 sports fishing legislation. Anyone fishing in the Bahamas who's going to be guiding has to be certified and licensed, and thirdly, they have to be a Bahamian.
And that is historic in that a model of conservation and a model for Bahamianization has been legislated, the only one in the country.
But it also gives Bahamians the opportunity with a sense of pride to know that at the end of the day, I'm contributing to the development of my country and something they can pass on for generations.
The out island of Bahamas, there are no other alternative industry that generates the kind of revenue that fly fishing does. The entire community benefits.
I would always encourage the tourists, people who want to fish, hire a local guide.
The guides in the Bahamas are some of the best trained fly fishing guides in the world. You know it because you see the results in terms of the kinds of fishing they're doing. They're catching the largest bonefish, the largest tarpon, largest permit. That is unique. So this is the lure to all the anglers internationally coming who thinks of the Bahamas as #1 destination for fly fishing and saltwater.
I'm really excited about this initiative that SPTC has brought forth for the fishermen.
If you have great guides and terrible boats and engines and nothing working and all this, you could be the best in the world. And people still have a terrible experience because they could not have a good day on the water.
I think one of the greatest things is to have access to quality capital, but not only having access to the capital, but terms and conditions related to the capital, so we encourage growth and expansion of the industry and professionalism within the industry because of the resources being at hand and having proper guidance.
It'll be a greater impact and they'll have a better experience.
And I foresee it being an opportunity that the guys are taking advantage of in terms of the opportunities for education, awareness, and resources. You always need to advise people, inform them, and then equip them. And so I think this process is essential because it allows those skill sets that are needed in a changing economy and environment, how they could then keep up with operating their small business.
I feel good when you're wrapped up in my arms, dancing to a reggae song. Feel good, feel good. I feel good, 'cause your perfume isn't loud, and only I can talk about. Feel good, feel good. You feel like velvet rubbing over my skin, and when you're
Beyond the Headlines is now introducing powerful TV advertising opportunities made just for you. Choose our television ad package, 20 30-second ads for $2,000 or 20 60-second ads for $2,500 plus VAT. Prefer flexibility? Go a la carte. Just $150 for a 30-second ad or $200 for a 60-second ad. Step into the spotlight with our interview package. 1 15-minute interview for $500 or 4 for $15 per month. Or bring Beyond the Headlines directly to you with our live on location package, only $2,600 plus VAT. For more information, contact our sales agent at 242-466-6173.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. Well, this just coming into unofficially and not confirmed yet from credible sources that Sylvanus Petty was just ratified as the candidate for the PLP in the North Eleuthera constituency. Again, Sylvanus Petty was ratified moments ago as the candidate for the Progressive Liberal Party in the North Eleuthera constituency, and we can talk about that, but we don't have time, so we will just move on to this. Mike Cal aspirant, of course, is shifting from his regular job this entire month of December to put smiles on the faces of thousands of children this Christmas. Robert DePuch-Caron will again this year follow his family's 30-year tradition and host Christmas parties all across New Providence. He held 2 in Michael and 1 drop-off in Crooked Island on Saturday. Guys, take a look at the video there of them actually having a good time. In fact, that is in Inagua that some residents sent us the video of. Nobody was left out. The kids were extremely happy. In fact, they had tree lighting ceremonies all throughout Maikal. I think it's just Mayaguana to go, but all the other islands held from tree lighting ceremonies, obviously giving out gifts. And you all, I see online the trend of people talking about what various members of parliament or even aspirants, what the new member of parliament is being looked at to do, not just perhaps do the traditional things that we have been used to, but to now show up in communities and areas and uplift persons and families and communities. Your thoughts about not only the traditional things, but really getting in there and making a difference in these various communities.
Well, I tell you, this is the time of year. I'm looking at these aspirants, I'm looking at the candidates that are coming forward, seemingly very financially strong. And this is very important, as we saw in the by-election of Golden Isles. This is no time to be a broke politician, I'll tell you that much. And as for me, looking at these people, very impressive. I'm kind of questioning, Shanique Miller, why is the general election so far away if you have such competent candidates? When I look at the other parties, they don't seem to have the wherewithal to compete. I would like to say that politics in the Bahamas is built upon legislative policies and policy making and just being a good community citizen. But right now what we're seeing is productivity. Bahamian people want to know there's deliverance on the way. These people are delivering while the others are saying that they are preparing. For me, I see where the advantage is. For me, if all things remain the same, Shanique Miller, I'll call the election for February next year, because when you got the Robert Karens in there, the Sebastians, what I'm seeing out there right now, we just came to this by-election with Darren Pitstock and roads are being paved and things are being corrected. I don't understand why election isn't tomorrow.
Well, God, for me, I want to see a little more. I'm not interested in how much cake you could buy, how much toys you could buy, how much things you could wine and dazzle the people in your community. I want to know, how do you add value to my country as a whole? What programs and platforms you're bringing to the table. So that stuff don't move me. I've been around for too long for that stuff to move me. And so
that's just us noble you.
Yeah, but for me, I want to see more. I want to see that, these candidates can say, listen, this is how we're going to uplift this area. This is how we're going to empower these people. This is investment programs we're going to make sure build for them. This is how we're going to build wealth for them and their children. And so for me, I don't want to bastardize the constituency. I want us to make sure that we can really give value to the Bahamas.
Yeah, but you're using the word I, Mr. Stanton.
And so for me, like I said, that's what I want.
Yes, you're right, but this is what I'm doing this election season. I am highlighting those who are doing just that. I wish I had more time not to talk about not just what I understand from residents, mind you, that he is doing in Maikal, but what Sabas is doing in Fort Charlotte, and what others are doing, various others are doing, because now is the season where Bahamians deserve a hand up, not the traditional hand out. And a lot of that is happening all around us. And of course, we continue to look and see what others are doing as well, not just a handful. Let's see what the wider scope is happening on a wider scope.
When you read Plato Republic, and Plato was one of those guys.
When you read.
Yeah, Plato, they created this democracy of the people. But he said one thing that was so striking. He said, listen, among all forms of government, democracy, I like the best. But he said the problem with democracy is you don't get the best, you just get the favorite. And sometimes you can choose idiots because the idiots are the favorite. And so Plato's issue was that, listen, whilst democracy may be the best one, the problem is that you don't get the smartest, you don't get the brightest, you don't get the best. You only get the ones who could cheer the most or who could woo the crowd the most.
In fact, here's something that my people are putting up. I don't know if you guys want to play that. Let me know what y'all want to do, and I'll take a pause. But we're going to look at these candidates because that's important. Justin, what are you telling me? That's important. Go ahead.
So today we continue our small home repairs program as we go throughout the residence delivering much needed materials for persons that have issues with their homes. There's a lot of roof leaks, there's a lot of dilapidated structures, and these residents just need one little bump, one little boost just to bring back and restore some dignity and quality of life to the home. So the team is out doing assessment, the team is out doing deliveries, and we're also out inspecting some of the work that's ongoing. We're going to continue to build a stronger community, keep Fort Charlotte clean, Fort Charlotte strong, and take Fort Charlotte higher.
I'll tell you this, you know what, I'll tell you, team, by the way, thank you for even inserting that in there, because people have been asking me, Shanique, why aren't you paying attention to what's happening? Because I've not even featured Bastian, for example, because they're saying you don't see what's happening in Fort Charlotte. Fort Charlotte is being raised, and things are happening, not just the usual. Perhaps there's room for that, and there's some of that perhaps going on, but they are very happy of the fact that the community is being lifted. And this is what I meant when I said in areas like Michael, for example, and other areas, we're going to take our time this election season. That's why we have a temperature check, to be able to really pay attention and zero in on that. Garth, quickly.
Yes, Shanique, being a former professional pastor, you know, I gotta say it like this. You know, I just want my colleague Kathy Shaw to understand something very clearly. And I can quote scripture tonight, like the devil quotes scripture. Huh? John chapter 4. There's the woman at the well who comes for water. And Jesus gives this woman living water. When you see the Bahamian people need a roof fix, when you see those Bahamian people need the children's school fees paid, or they need food to eat, or the light bill paid, you can't come talking about no policy and no national building, and I have a dream and I have a vision. A hungry man has to eat first to even clear his mind. When I sold timeshare at Atlantis, the first thing we learned is to break bread with your guests. You got to fill that void. You got to make sure those people are satisfied before you can even pour into them. We saw this in the by-election of Golden Isles. It shocked the living daylights out of me. These people's arms was open and it was being filled. And the end result showed the person who had the greatest financial strength, not the longest record of performance. The financial strength was the person who prevailed. Now, Cassius Stewart has asked himself the question tonight. How do you win an election? Do you win an election by talking all of this democracy talk and platonic conversation? Or do you win elections in the Bahamas, the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, by meeting the needs of the people first? That's all I gotta say, Shanique.
I'm playing the music and I can't respond, man.
You can't respond, so let me respond.
Let me respond, man. Let's play the music, man. Man, Shanique, man, you call my name, man.
No, you can't, because even in the great, look at Justin Dawes, but okay, you gotta be on.
Listen, hold on now, let me get it. Listen, you see them light bill, God?
Somebody.
You know how long I've been around? I pay plenty of them light bill. You know how much grocery I didn't buy in the last 20 years? I buy enough grocery to buy super value out. So I know about that.
Yes.
But
and you gotta be on the right team.
But at the end of the day, see, here's my issue. At the end of the day, how long are people going to be hungry? If you feed them today, they're still hungry tomorrow. And they're still going to be hungry. And they're still going to be hungry. How do we pull them out of that hunger so they can stand on their own 2 feet?
Put your fingers on your lips, because if I started that segment or this segment by saying these new politicians, the ones who have entered for the first time, and I'm sure some incumbents as well, but I'm just zeroing in on these ones, they are absolutely making real change in these areas that they're in. That is what needs to happen, Bahamians and ladies and gentlemen.
So we speak broadly in terms of, you know, at the end of the day, it's not specific, but it's broad, because at the end of the day though, you know, like God said, people are hungry, and I know I've been in many homes and they're still hungry, and they still call me today. How long are people going to be in poverty?
No, I'll tell you this.
How long?
No, it's unfair for the people who I showed a moment ago. I'm telling you, they are shifting the way politics is done and the way representation is showing up. And we're going to continue looking at that, because to me, that's important in 2026 and beyond, for how you can be empowered. Not what you can have at the very moment, but how you can be empowered and move your life and your family's life forward. We're going to talk about that. And it's going to happen mainly on Temperature Check, but of course throughout the show, right up to the general election. I thank you very much, Minister of National Security, Wayne Monroe. Thank you very much for being here this evening. Thank you so much, Cassia Stewart, Roseborough. Thank you very, very much. Listen, you go sing that after the show, okay? Guys in the back, thank you all so much. You all are awesome with the wonderful elements you're putting in and obviously, just pushing things along. Thank you as well. And a big thank you to all of you for tuning in this evening. I'll see you tomorrow evening. This is Shanique Miller. Have a great evening, y'all.